The intro of this video got lost, but what I said was that this is my unimog boxcar built of a lawnmower, and now we're turning the chassis into something else, because the unimog wasn't that nice to drive. That's what I said in short. The lawnmower, I have built something. Okay, so we're slamming this down. I unbolted this. It's hard to see, but these brackets were way lower, which made this sit higher. As you can see, that's touching there. So we're gonna make these deeper and drill new holes, so we can get it pretty low to end here. Yeah, that's the plan for now. I'm gonna start by organizing a bit here, so I can then unbolt engine and take this into the shop and cut it up. Okay, so I'm going to do these ones deeper, so the axle can go up more, which will make the machine lower. So I'm gonna measure that out and start cutting. That's the first thing to do. Then we're going to see if we can find a master link or chain lock on this chain, otherwise we will have to cut it because it will probably be changed anyway, and do some cutting over here for the chain and sprocket and stuff. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep going with this, but first things first. degreaser. Now I will let that do its thing for... It doesn't even say how... Yeah, so I'm gonna just let that be for a little while, and then I'm gonna wipe it off and get some stuff away. See here the difference. We're going to clean it more later, but it's just nice to have it not being so dirty when working. Better, way better. I'm gonna just do some brake clean. Wipe it away before it hits the floor, and let's see here. This should finally do the trick. Here, you don't want oil on your disc brakes. That is kinda it, I guess. Better, at least a bit better. So now I'm gonna measure for this, cut out and do that. So we cleaned everything off, kind of, and I removed the chain and flipped this upside down. Here I drawed out what I'm going to cut, so I'm gonna cut in here, so because it's going to be easier, and then we're gonna go this outer line. This is where we're going to drill holes later, and we're going to do this side first, then we're gonna do the next side, and after that cut for the sprocket and chain and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be pretty nice. Okay, so I ran into a problem here. I destroyed the last metal blade that I had. I tried with the wood blade, works on aluminium, but not on steel apparently. I kinda knew that. And then I tried with the handsaw, but it's taking forever. So we want to cut today short on this and buy new blades. We got this much away, we're going to cut here, and then we can test fit the axle on this side. We're going to do the other side as well. Yeah, but we're gonna cut here to another day.
One eternity later.
I'm marking here where to make holes for the rear axle. Yeah, that seems to be good enough. So I'm gonna drill those holes now, and yeah, keep going here. This is how far I have came now. This is not even mounted yet, but that. The rear axle, it's lowered. The front is not lowered yet. So now I have some time for planning here. And I'm thinking, how should I make the rest of this? As I said, I haven't drawn anything up, really. I don't even have a clue what I'm doing, really. But yeah, so I guess I'm gonna do some cleaning up here, picking up those cut off metal pieces, and maybe just, or we're gonna take this outside and rig something up to think what it's gonna be like. Yeah. Okay, I decided to lower this seat mount, so we're gonna cut it off maybe here and put this part inside the other part, bolt it together. That way we get it lower and we can decide how low we want it. I'm thinking just making it look like a lawnmower, but being low. It's kinda cool. Probably the coolest way to do it. Yeah. If that was like bolted together, we could drive it if everything was working correctly. Yeah. So I'm gonna go working on that and decide what to do, thinking a bit. Another day, another part of the lawnmower to work on. Okay, so this is the front end, and I've been thinking about how to lower this, because this is harder than the rear end to lower. But I think I have a solution. Here. We're just gonna cut those like, no, I won't, but there. Cut this part out of the beam and lift the entire front axle upwards, which will move the wheel mounting point higher, which will make it lower. It's a bit of thinking process about this, but yeah, I'm gonna cut this off. That's gonna be what I'm doing now.
One eternity later. I think we're done there.
Okay, so these are bolted on. Now it's time to bolt on the axle itself. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now. Yeah. You see? So the mower is not bolted together yet in the frame, but we made a new plate here. So now the front is lowered too. It's identical on the other side. But that was the same as the other brackets, just a different shape, but it was the same work. But so I'm gonna install these, connect the front and the rear part. Yeah. Okay, back at it, building racing lawnmower. I lowered this completely, bolted it together, and this is how it looks now. Today I'm working on this part. This is the seat post, maybe we could call it that. There. I'm gonna cut it here and lower it. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep cutting this.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
What I did was cut this off, putting this part that I cut loose inside the other part and bolt it together. So now the seat is lowered very nicely. It turned out that the best way to mount the steering wheel was in this position. This is not the stock position, as you might see, but it was moved before, so yeah, we need to change the steering wheel at least. Yeah. It's raining today, and here is this lawnmower. Can we just call it the Stig, because it's a stiga lawnmower and you know who the Stig is. Anyway, I just got an engine for it. I haven't seen it, we're gonna go look at it now. Yeah, exciting times. This is exciting, but I don't see anything. I don't know. Wait. Oh, electric bike. Here it is, anyway. So, here we got 18 volts battery, because apparently this has battery start, but not like a 12 volt battery. So this is pretty cool. 56%, I mean, not bad. So this is the charger with the battery in it. Here is the engine. So the guy we bought this from had reversed the lawnmower over with the tractor. So it's only 1 year old. Little update, I pulled all the engine covers off because this is a kill switch cable with a little brake pad, so we got to make this one not breaking. I guess we could just disconnect the spring. We'll see about that. So I installed the engine. Yesterday I did not film anything because I spent the whole day fixing stupid stuff that I could have made right from the beginning. But chain is installed, a little sloppy, but gonna make a chain tensioner later, but it's enough for a test drive. Got the checklist. And yeah, so now I'm gonna fix maybe shifting lever, and then I think it might be time for a test start. So what I've done is installed these, hard to see, but these plastic or rubber things here. So the steering can't lock in full steering to one way. Fixed the seat mount, installed the engine as I said, and the electric start here. Yeah. And so now we're gonna make the gear lever, I think.
Vad gjorde du?
Jag vet. Kanske efter. we need a chain tensioner. It feels very loose compared to when we had it in the shop. So we're gonna definitely need a chain tensioner. I think it might have slipped actually on the spot. Yeah, that's possible. That's something to fix and not my favorite thing to do. But yeah, it runs. Got to do some fixing. The electric start works. Still 100% on the battery. And it's just an 18 volt battery, so I'm happy. We're gonna do some so we can have a throttle pedal. Yeah, but it works. That's fine. So as usual, when you build something new, there's a bit of a fix everything that's not working time in the beginning. But it works now. So I'm gonna drive it a little bit. Just look at this.
Jag drar han.
Still does not do the garden.